Good evening, it's Valerie Ling here, clinical psychologist and advocate for a better way for doing life into thinking about this thing called burnout. I'm actually on my way to bed. This is an unusual broadcast because I had some fire in my belly, and after reading a post, hey Gerda, thanks for watching. After reading a post that really got me going. Now, I mean, no disrespect to my peers and my colleagues who are working in the burnout space. Power to you. I think that's a great thing that we're doing. But please, let's just take a moment to calibrate what we're actually saying to the generations to come about playing hard, working hard, doing life hard. So the first thing that I want to say is that this is a message, I think, to founders, other founders out there. If you're in a small business, no matter what your turnover is, okay, I'm not going to dismiss that. I'm not going to quantify it. Whatever your turnover is, the point is you've decided to take a stab at this thing called business. It will come with risks, it will come with criticism, and it will come with long hours. And that's why I'm actually doing this on my way to bed, just to make a point that sometimes we need to flex these things. But we've got to get away from the message that doing less is the way for us to get rid of burnout. We've got to get away from thinking that shrinking our perspective, shrinking our vision, and shrinking what we're doing is the way to manage burnout. Because you know why? We are just going to perpetuate an avoidance culture that doesn't dig deep into where the battery life ran out. How did it run out? One of the things I keep saying in my spiels is that it's because we hooked the work onto the wrong battery. We hook our work on usually to the battery of self. And you know what's in that tank? Other people's priorities, other people's demands, other people's opinions of what we should and shouldn't be doing, other people's thoughts about how we're supposed to be doing life. Essentially, it is about giving in to beliefs that we have got to be perfect at what we do, that we have got to look great. That's why I'm doing this without my makeup even. I'm just coming to you as I am. That we have got to be looking fantastic and all together and put together. And that we've got to get it 100% perfect, and then we'll be fine. That is relentless. You cannot live like that. You cannot build like that. And you will burn out if that is the battery that you've plugged your work into. And my passion about this is that I have two teenagers, as I've often talked about, and I believe that the world of work is changing. Someone came to my house for dinner the other day and they said, we are living in a culture now and a time where our children will have to make their own work. They will have to make their own work. And if this sends a message to them that we've got to be scared, we play small, we dream small, we think small because we're afraid we're going to burn out, what life are we leaving them? What legacy are we saying to them? What are we actually communicating? This has to stop. What is it to be a small business owner? What is it to be a founder? What is it to be someone who dreams and makes things out of nothing? Well, it's exactly that. It's about making something out of nothing. It is about returning to a mindset where we play, where we say okay to taking risks. You know, there is no business, there is no startup, there is no job that was created without some form of experimenting, without some form of taking the first draft, saying, oh, that one's so great, blah, 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 blah. Next. You don't crumple yourself up. You don't throw yourself up. So we've got to get to this point where we see that the battery is not all about us. It's not about you. The battery has to be about the vision that we're taking, about the risks that we're prepared to take, about the joy in evaluating where we might have gone wrong. Yes, I said joy, but joy in evaluating where we might have taken a slight detour or find something new about yourself that you never discovered. It has to be about the playful mindset. It has to be about the discipline to say, tomorrow is another day. Tomorrow is another day to figure out where the 70% that you didn't understand can now be the 75% that you do understand. Hello, everybody. What am I trying to say? At the end of the day, if you watch through what I talk about, is I say that you've got to hook what you do into the right battery. And that right battery is beyond you. It's not about you. Okay, so I could tell you what my annual revenue is. I could tell you what my turnover is, but you know what? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because I'm in my own lane. I don't care what you think. I don't care if you think that number on the piece of paper makes me a success or not. I really don't care. It's not about me. It's not about you. It's about the difference that I choose to make today by taking some risks. And you know what? At the end of the day, if it shuts down, if it closes down, I would have met some great people along the way. I would be able to get to see a couple of people launch from my space into their own space. And I actually get to say that I tried. I gave it a good go. And you see, when you have your eyes on this other meter, the joy meter, what brings you joy? The playful meter. How are you being playful in the space that you're creating? Because you're creating it. And when you get into the space where you don't listen anymore to those voices, then you're going to discover that burnout is the stuff of the parachute that drags you, that everybody else has been filling in. Okay. Wow. That was a lot to say just before going to bed. Okay, I've been seeing some comments. Oh, thank you very much that I look okay without makeup. I think I look okay without makeup. It just gets to the point where it's a little bit distracting because people sometimes think I may look a little sick or a little tired. And so I just got used to basically putting on a little bit of lippy. And Gerda saying that she's loving this. That's great. Look, would you help me to get this message out that we must not leave a legacy of avoidance behind. We must not leave a legacy of the fear of wanting to make a difference behind. That we must leave a legacy of helping our future generations to learn to take some risks, to dig deep into what brings them joy, to serve others, and to find the ways that they can expand their ability to keep going. All right then. On that note, it is time for me to go to bed and to switch off the Wi-Fi. Thanks for watching, everybody. Good night.